Got $1? Get a new car. Got $1? Get a new truck. Just $1 gets you into a new truck or car during Dollar Days. New Rams, new Jeeps, new Dodges, and Chryslers. All you need is $1 down. PremierTroy.com. Nobody beats a Premier deal. Nobody.
I wish you could taste how much better food tastes when cooked on a Green Mountain grill. But I can let you in on the reason that's true. Our pellets contain water, so they create steam while you cook, keeping your food moist. Does a gas or charcoal grill do that? I think not.
Come and see us at Southern Grill and Patio, just off the square in Troy.
Troy Cable Security Wi-Fi doorbell camera allows you to answer the door from your smartphone when you are at home, at work, or on the go. When a visitor presses the button, Troy Cable Security sends a live video feed to your smartphone, so you can see, hear, and speak to the person at your door. With the doorbell camera, you can have your porch light turn on automatically when it detects motion at night to create the appearance that someone is at home. You can view video clips so you can always know who stopped by when you are out. Troy Cable Security. You love them, protect them.
When it comes to surgery, precision is perfection. The very latest technology available ensures the best possible outcome. The Mako Robotic Arm-Assisted Surgery System is now available at Troy Regional Medical Center. Skilled orthopedic surgeon Dr. Robert L. Liljeberg and his team provide patients with faster recovery and better movement after a knee replacement surgery. When accuracy matters, you deserve the very best. Troy Regional Medical Center.
Right here, right now. Got $1? Yeah. Get a used car, truck, van, SUV, you name it. That's right. Just $1 gets you a pre-owned vehicle during Dollar Days. All you need is $1 down. PremierTroy.com. Nobody beats a Premier deal. Nobody.
Good morning and welcome to Today in LA. My name is Mike Amos. His name is Big Bill Rice Jr. As we start a Tuesday on our show, of course, we go from our studios on South Grundy Street in Troy, Alabama, across the nation, across the world. And man, what a world we got. Man, I'm scared to death.
Everybody's watching what's happening in.
You push a crazy man in the corner. You push a crazy man in the corner. No telling what he'll do. You take a crazy man's money away from him, and everybody else's money away from him, and you don't know what he's going to do.
But why do you say he's crazy?
Well, you don't think he's crazy?
Well, he invaded neighboring country to protect the national security of his nation. Was George W. Bush crazy when he said that America had to invade Iraq and Afghanistan for our national security?
Yeah.
It's who decides who is crazy or not. If it's your enemy, he's crazy. If it's you're smart.
Oh, brother. Whoa. Whoa. Man, oh man, I hate to hear that, because I believe any man that comes in and starts ruthlessly killing children and killing women and killing people that don't have anything to do with his what he wants to do in his world. But you go ahead and you kill a bunch of folks.
Do you think there were any women and children killed of all those bombings and drone and missile attacks America launched?
Yeah. I refuse to even answer that question.
Well, it's a good question. I mean, it's.
Yeah, it is, man. Hey, go on and tell it. Go on and tell it like it is. If you think that's the way to go, but I don't.
Well, let me ask you, how many innocent people in Iraq, Syria, Afghanistan do you think have died in the last 20 years? 5 or? 150,000.
Yeah, quite a few, no question about it. No question about it. But this is the closest thing we've come to World War III that we've ever been.
Well, that might. I agree. Now, I want to say
now, if you don't believe, their leader is not a fool and not a crazy human being. Just look at what he's allowed his army to do. I mean, this bunch wasn't doing anything to hurt anybody, you know. And they were not going to join the. I don't believe they were going to join the
NATO.
I don't believe they were. And really, they were just a bunch
don't
of
get me
innocent
wrong.
people.
I don't like war, and I wish Putin wouldn't invade. But the reason he did it was he was convinced that America and Britain were going to keep pushing for Ukraine to be in NATO. Like, you know, there's 14 other Soviet republics that are now part of NATO, and basically, you know, Russia is surrounded by NATO military bases.
Yeah, but you think he did the right thing to go in there and bum those folks and kill all those folks?
No, I wish no.
Well, why did you just get through telling me you took up for him? You took up for him.
I wish he wouldn't have done it, but I understand why he did it. He thinks that he is going to create a buffer zone, and he is going to. He thinks that the West and NATO are out to destroy his country, and he is going to take a preemptive measure to protect the national security of his country.
Well, you know, as bad as you hate to talk about it, but you know what? What do you think he's going to do? You think he's going to just sit back and just take this country and just quit? I believe he has ambitions to take the other countries, the small countries. Well, even Poland, I think they're even concerned about it. You know, still, you know, we tell people all the time that we'll give you all the guns and the ammo you need, but we're not going in there. You know, our country. Well, what if it did come down to it? Would we?
Well, then that's
would our country go into battle? You know, and so right now, we're all about doing the right thing, giving them a lot of machinery and a lot of bullets and guns and all that. But I just still cannot support any reason for him doing what he did.
We all agree that America invaded and occupied Iraq. We all agree that we invaded, occupied, and changed we changed the regime. It's called regime change. That's what some people think Putin is doing in Ukraine. He wants to change the leader in Ukraine. Well, we changed the leader in Iraq, and we changed the leaders in Afghanistan, which are now back to the original leaders.
Yeah.
But the reason we did that is we said that Saddam Hussein was a threat to America's national security. He was going to have weapons of mass destruction. He was going to use them against us.
Yeah, we made
Afghanistan was no threat to anybody. It's a third world impoverished country with no navy, but they could host terrorists, which they did, and so we had to occupy and get rid of that national threat. So, you know, I still look at, you know, that we made a determination that we're going to fight when our national security is threatened. I think Putin's made the exact same calculation. Now, here's the difference. When we invaded Iraq and Afghanistan, and really we're still in Syria, and we bombed the heck out of Libya, too, so there's really plenty of countries. Russia and China did not say, this will not stand, we're going to start a world war with America. They just let us do it. They probably didn't like it. They protested. Now, I think you're right. This could escalate into the Third World War, which would be a nuclear war. If there's a nuclear war, Mike, everybody watching this show is probably within months, not a lot.
Let me just say, let me go on record and say that I don't think these people did not want to be a part of Russia. No way in the world they want to be a part of Russia. And this man just takes it on his own. He's going to go in there and just take it, and probably knew he didn't know how well they would fight, but he probably knew that they would put up a fight, and they had every right in the world to defend themselves, and all they wanted was their freedom, and they didn't want to. They weren't concerned about being on the what is the five. Let's just say this, and I'm a man that might not know enough about it to argue with you about it, but hey, all they wanted was their freedom, Rice, and you're saying that this man didn't had every right in going in there.
I'm not saying he had every right.
What are you saying then?
I just said that I wish he hadn't done it. I'm just saying I understand why he did it.
Well, to try, just like every communist government.
You remember them 2 towers they bombed?
Yeah, that's right.
That's a direct goddamn act of war.
Yeah, that's right.
Who bombed those towers?
Hussein.
Saddam Hussein bombed the towers.
No. When we drug out to sea.
Saddam, we invaded Iraq because they bombed the towers.
Yeah.
Iraq did not bomb the towers, ladies and gentlemen.
They were housing the Taliban, who bombed the towers.
That was Afghanistan.
But hey, it goes all the way back to that, sure. But it's happened now, and we're in serious trouble, win or lose,
Well, I guess my main point is that you know me, I'm a contrarian. And everything that the government says, that our media says, I look at it and I say, my first instinct is be skeptical. Yeah. You've heard the saying that the first casualty in war is the truth and propaganda.
But you're not saying
I'm saying that
they had a right to do what they did.
2 weeks ago, only 15% of Americans said it was worth it to fight Russia and maybe have World War III to protect Ukraine.
I don't believe anybody thought about World War III back 2 weeks ago.
But now, if you look at the polls, I just looked at one yesterday, 52% of Americans say that it's worth defending Ukraine. So we're getting closer and closer to this. All I want is, I don't want a Third World War.
You on Today in L.A.? How you doing? Give me some relief.
Oh, what's going on, y'all?
Oh boy, we got on the wrong subject today.
I got your daddy mad just because I do not condone and am an opponent of Putin invading Ukraine. All I said is I understand why he did it, and then I really stirred things up when I made the comparison to America invading Iraq and Afghanistan and still in Syria and bombing Libya. And I pointed out how many innocent women and children do you think those American bombs and fighting have killed? How many refugees did it produce?
And of course, we were fighting terrorists across the world. And,
well, see, that's what
I read KIB has removed all the Russian liquors from the ABC stores in the state of Alabama. So if you're a representative...
You better go get you some vodka while you got it. Exactly.
If you're a representative of Stoli Vodka, which is a very popular vodka, that has all been removed from the shelves in the ABC stores of Alabama. A lot of states are doing that right now.
But the best vodka out there is that vodka that's made in Texas, Mike.
I'll tell you this, Putin is getting creamed.
Tito's. Give me Tito's right now, and I ain't got to have any more.
Putin is getting creamed in the propaganda war all around the world. Everybody's mobilized against him. These sanctions are this SWIFT stuff. That's the way you can access dollars and currencies on the global markets. That's going to punish Russian citizens terribly. What really worries me is that the president of the Ukraine is he wants NATO, which means America, to do a no-fly zone to provide air cover, which would help him in shooting. But what that would mean is that NATO jets, American fighter pilots, would have to shoot down Russian jets.
Yeah, and that's not going to happen.
No,
that's not going to happen. Then we go to war. We go to war then. You know, they're just waiting for us to do something like that.
You know, America had 2 wars in Iraq, and I remember after the first one, which America didn't go into Iraq, they stopped. Remember after the Kuwait War? But America imposed a no-fly zone over large parts of Iraq.
We never saw any planes in Iraq.
Yeah, well, they shot down. If Iraqi planes or helicopters got into any parts of Iraq, America would shoot them down.
Yeah.
But you know, that's something.
But
America did.
Yeah. Mike, what is your feeling about all this? Don't you think that the man from Russia is sort of a little bit on the crazy side?
Well, I mean, I'll be honest. I don't really keep on with too much of it. I watch a little bit of it.
Well, you better watch. You better watch it because it's right here on our front door. I'll tell you that right now.
I'm coming off a wine festival to work. I literally worked from like Wednesday.
Well, all right. Let's don't worry about that.
Night, so I hadn't really paid too much attention to it. I mean, my opinion is, you know, I mean, any war is bad. And I would rather we live in a world where we just didn't have war going on. But I mean, it's one of those type things that I don't know the politics behind all of it. I'm not an expert. I'm here to talk about sports, and that's about it.
Well, let me just say this, and we'll hopefully get off the subject, but we're in a very serious situation. I mean, one bad flaw, and we're in World War III.
I agree with that.
And we don't need to be in World War III. Russia probably is the greatest military might out there, and then followed very closely by China. We're probably third. We are not in their league as far as winning a war.
Nuclear weapons as we do, or approximately.
Oh gosh, Russia's got 6,000 nuclear weapons. They've got way more than we got.
They can get them to America in the West.
And they move their missiles around too. You know, we don't know where they are.
People are aware of how Alaska and Russia used to actually do the same landmass. There's not too many miles between Alaska and Russia.
I know it.
It could happen very easily. I mean, I do know that.
I'm like you, Michael. I didn't know enough about Ukraine, and in the last week I have been staying up, reading everything I can find about it. Man, there are people that are really into geopolitics, and they understand this chess game of statecraft and what's actually happening here. And some people that seem convincing to me, they point out that Russia should really be an ally to America. That even some people say we should have let Russia be in NATO. I think at one point Putin proposed, we want to be in NATO.
God.
But they say the real serious threat to America and its future is China. So what has America done? America has brought together the 2 superpowers that could defeat America in a war or a stalemate. Russia and China are closer than they've ever been.
Yeah.
So you know, that's
I would think
opposite chess move, geopolitical result that you want.
I would think that militarily speaking, China is getting a kick out of this. He's seeing, you know, sometimes it's about like watching another football team play. It's sort of good sometimes to see what the opposition is going to do. And right now, the United States does not plan on getting any of our people killed, and I'm glad for it. But I'm glad that we're helping this bunch out to the best we can be. But I'm afraid maybe after a week to 2 weeks, you know, we won't really have this, because I think it's inevitable that eventually Russia will take over that country.
I think that's the big question. Are they going to try to take over the regime change? I mean, America tried it for 20 years in Iraq and 20 years in Afghanistan. It's not as easy as you think it is.
No,
Remember all those
no,
people
it's
saying,
not.
"Oh, we'll be out of Iraq and Afghanistan
But
in 8 months."
I don't think it'll ever be completely over. I think you'll have different segments that'll stay with
Well,
it.
some
stay
people-
with
some
it.
people
There'll
say-
be a thorn. There'll be a thorn in Russia's butt. Let's say
Well,
that.
that's right. Some people say Americans, our CIA and strategist types say this is we're throwing Russia exactly where we want them because they are going to be bogged down like we were bogged down in Afghanistan and Iraq for 15 years. It's going to drain them. They're going to try to occupy this
that's
country,
right.
and there's going to be guerrilla attacks constantly, and it's just going to.
Yeah.
So
Well,
is Russia willing to take that on? It's not. It's like America could easily defeat Iraq and Afghanistan militarily. It's the challenge comes now that you got them. What are you going to do? What's Russia going to do? What I think is going to happen. Here's armchair political, but I'm a political science major.
we're starting to hear. We're finding out what side of the fence you're on.
Well, I'm just talking analyst role. I'm not saying what I want to happen. I'm just saying what I think might happen.
Okay.
I think, you said that everybody in Ukraine hates Russia. Well, the people in the eastern part of Ukraine don't. They've been having a civil war for 12 years, and it's people that are like Russia versus people who don't. It's called Russian separatists. They want to be a part of Russia in the eastern Ukraine. So my prediction is that Russia and Putin will probably say, all right, we're just going to redraw the map, and this little section of East Ukraine is now going to be again, it used to be a part of Russia or the Soviet Union, it's going to be a part again, and they're going to let leave the rest of the Ukraine alone, and they're going to say, we've made our point, don't mess with us again, quit all this NATO talk. And
you mean we're in there? We're in this conflict because they made a they teed us off. Is that right? They made us mad.
Well, we made
them mad. I didn't know that.
Well, if you go back and read the speeches, Putin has given many through the years that said this. We're not bluffing. We will not stand for this Ukraine becoming a part of NATO. I mean, he couldn't be more explicit.
Yeah.
And I think the thing was he had let it pass when they took the Baltic states, when they got Poland, when it's 11 former Soviet republics that are in Warsaw state nations that are now part of NATO, so they got closer and closer to his country. But he kind of drew a line in the sand and said, Ukraine, it ain't happening. And America, I guess, I didn't think he would invade. I thought he was bluffing too, but he wasn't bluffing.
Yeah. Well, let me just
Because
say
he's taking a huge, like we can say, he is taking a huge risk, and this might very well backfire completely on him.
Well,
boy, looks like basketball started yesterday in the state championship. Holland Home lost a heartbreaking game to Mars Hill, 64-62. Crazy thing here is Holland Home is 28-5 and lost to the team 14-16.
I know it. I noticed that, and that Mars Hill is one of the team that's there every year, and I don't know how many state championships they've won in basketball. They won several of them in football too.
They haven't won one in basketball in like 20-something years. But it said that Holland Home was up by 7 with 5 minutes to go.
Yeah.
And apparently the ref kept on calling charges.
Oh, me.
Holland Home. And Holland Home had 7 charges.
What?
Called against them. So the referees really got involved here, it sounds like. And apparently Coach Mitchell, who's been coaching for years, said that they were flopping. Dad, you're a referee. You've been doing this for years. I mean, did you ever have a guy that get away with flopping on charges?
What do you mean by that?
They're acting like
He's acting.
Oh, okay.
He's really not taking the charge. He's basically flopping and basically getting the call.
Yeah,
college basketball, but you got to have position. You got to be outside
And you got to have both feet down. You got to have both feet down in a position, to have a charge, for him to run over you. Usually, if it's a hard hit, when they go each other and it's real hard hit, you can tell most of the time that's a charge.
Well, the last charge was against their star player Paul for Holland Home, and apparently he thought it was such a bad call. He also got a technical foul.
Oh man!
As well.
And
it sounds like the referees were very much involved in this game. I mean, it's hard to believe that they won this game. It looks like that Holland Home out-rebounded them 42-23. But Holland Home lost the game from the line. It looks like they were 10 of 25 from the foul line.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Oh, gosh.
That is 40, 30%.
Yeah, you're right. Shooting. Mike, how did Brantley come out?
I'll have to look and find that score.
That was a game played at 10:30 yesterday, and we were really pulling hard for Brantley.
I mean, you never see a team come, 14 and 16, and they're about to play for the state championship.
Yeah, that's right.
No, I can't remember that.
And they play the winner of the section, the Lynette section game.
I'm so tired, though, of officials in all sports, high school to pros, really controlling the outcome of games. I will say this about the Ozark-Troy game we watched, Mike. Those referees let them. Yeah, they let them play really basketball. I mean, at the end of the game, Charles Simpson had to foul to get them to the free throw line to stop the clock.
And they had several fouls to give. Yeah,
until the last couple of minutes of the game, there was hardly any fouls. It wasn't a free throw shooting contest. It was refreshing to see.
Mike,
another heartbreaking loss. Brantley loses to Decatur Heritage. I've never heard of Decatur Heritage.
I know it.
42-38. So Brantley is out as well.
They sort of shut the ball down.
Only scored 38 points.
And they evidently put two men probably on kill crease. But that was a heartbreaker.
Well, I'm sorry. Dang it.
Brantley finished the year at 24-7.
Yeah. Lochapoka ended up played Skyline. That's one of those old schools back here yonder that plays all good basketball. But that game's already been played, and another team, Mike, I've never heard of before is University Charter. They're 15-8, and these are girls, but I've never heard of University Charter, and we'll get a score from them in a few moments. But right now we got.
We'll have Charles Henderson and Carol Ozark playing tomorrow. Is that right?
That's right. Charles Henderson plays Gunnersville. Charles Henderson is 7-11. Gunnersville is 28-5. They're always good. This is going to be a good battle for the Trojans.
Charles Henderson 17-11, not 7-11.
Oh gosh, did I say 7-11? 17-11, and they play at 3. And St. Paul's Episcopal out of Mobile, they're 18-11. They play Lee of Huntsville in the boys' game.
I saw our favorite lawyer, Mozart, Will Matthews, has COVID and starting to feel symptoms. I hope Will's feeling better today.
Oh, I do too, and I'm sorry about that, Will. I didn't know.
Will's a diabetic. He called into the show late yesterday, right when we were having to get off.
Yeah.
Yesterday he said he felt pretty good. I hope he's not getting a little worse.
Of course, in 6A boys, McGill-Tulane plays Huffman, and Huffman's the one that knocked off Mountain Brook, Mike, and the team from Mobile's always good. And then Park Crossing from right here in Montgomery against Coleman. Coleman 27-3, Park Crossing 27-4. This is a battle of the South against the North as far as great basketball.
Ryan, what do you think of this? Everybody knows about Target. It's like the high-end Walmart, I guess, in local areas down here in Destin and Panama City Beach. But Target is now paying every employee $15 an hour and now has increased pay
bet you they're lined up.
I mean, yeah. I mean,
Mike, go line up, Mike. That's good money.
I'm doing pretty well in the wine business. I'll say this. That is a lot of money for somebody, out of hospital right now. $24 an hour.
Man, you know what? It's $200 a day. Isn't that right?
Yeah. Well, 24 times 8 is $192.
Oh, you call it that,
Yeah.
That's pretty good job.
The
Yeah.
government will take 20% of that out of your check or whatever, but.
And that's let's see, Mike.
Well, the minimum wage it's amazing to me. I don't know what I think about the minimum wage, but
49,920 a year if you work a 40-hour week.
Yeah. Boy, I tell you, that's not bad.
Right under 50,000.
Well, that is good for the workers. They need it with this inflation, but here's what it'll do too, though. It'll just fuel more inflation because for Target to fund those pay raises, they're going to have to do what? Raise their prices.
Yeah. With these gas prices, the gas prices will be over $4 before we know it.
$6 in some places in California.
It's already, you pay premium, it's already $4. One thing about Target down here that my wife and I have love, they do Target pickup. So we'll do our order, our grocery order, and then I'll just swing into the little pickup line, and the girl will bring it out, load it into my car, and I'm out.
Good, that's pretty neat. That's right.
So I do that we do that all the time down here. We love it.
Yeah, I bet.
Well, all the restaurants that have closed their dining rooms, even today. I mean, you can go out some places and only the drive-thru is open, even today, and it's because they're not paying enough to get people to work, and so maybe they'll follow Target's lead, which will be great for the employees. You cannot make a live on $7.50 an hour or really $10 an hour. But as they raise these prices of labor, that makes the prices of everything else go up. This inflation, I've been talking about it on this show and writing about it for years. Some people say it's going to go to deflation, but I don't see it. With all this money printing, I think it's just going to get worse and worse.
Michael, I would.
Is named Sunbelt Top Newcomer of the Year, the big guy from UTEP that transferred to Troy.
Oh, I really like him.
Newcomer of the year, and then Duke Dean, the freshman guard, the top freshman of the year.
Mike, I walked in on Coach Cross yesterday and spent almost an hour with him talking basketball, and I feel like I'm an authority on Troy basketball now.
Let's hear it.
Well, I just had a real good talk with him. He's a great guy, and we just talked ball, talked about his sons, how they've developed, and
how many sons does he have, by the way? 3.
And he said his youngest one doesn't care about it as much as his he's got an 8th grader and a 11th grader.
We know the 11th grader is a star, but what about that 8th grader?
I asked him, I said, how do you compare the two? He said, well, I don't know exactly how tall the middle boy is going to be, but let me just say this, he can already shoot it, is what he said. So both of them are good shooters. One of them's in the 8th grade and one of them's in the 11th. And I was looking at...
The 11th grader, Adam, he's an exceptional shooter.
Yeah. I was looking at another...
only had one guy on the first team, that was Odigi. So nobody else on Troy's roster was 2nd or 3rd team.
I was looking at Marion County.
Odigi is, he's not only a good player, but you can watch him on the court. Doesn't he look like a leader to you?
Yeah.
Everybody rallies around him. And
you know what's scary is Troy's going to have to play South Alabama. South Alabama's got 2 guys on the 2nd team all Sun Belt and 1 guy on the 3rd team all Sun Belt. So that tells you Troy's going to have to play in the tournament. Not good.
I was looking at the catered.
Yeah, what's he say about that matchup with South Alabama? Possibly, he can't be excited about that.
No. But you know what? The winner plays Texas State. So either way, you got it rough.
Yep.
It looks like it's literally like going to be a
But the key now.
Just calling the Mobile is like 40 minutes tops.
Well, maybe there's a lot of Troy alums and fans down in that area. Maybe they'll turn out and support the Trojans.
Yeah. Mike, I would
My wife, I think we might even bring our little girls over there. We might go.
Well, you're gonna give me a ride over there. I hope I get.
You're gonna have to meet me at the beach house.
Well, I'll do it. What I'm saying, I'll drive to the beach house, leave my car, or we'll go in my truck, whatever.
No, we're talking about bringing everybody.
Okay. Oh, you're gonna bring everybody. That'd be fun. Now, I was looking at this Decatur Heritage team, the team that beat Brantley, and that really surprised me quite a bit. And they're a good-looking group, and this is a team located in Decatur. You know, Decatur's a great sports town, and this is a private school located in Decatur, and they won that big game over Tucker-Kilcrease and Brantley. You know, I was looking at Tucker-Kilcrease. He's 6'1", but you know, he's probably still growing a little bit. And of course, Troy's has signed him already on the dotted line to play quarterback one day, and he's also got either a brother or cousin that's in 9th grade on that team. His name's John Harper Kilcrease. Have you ever? I didn't know he had a little brother or cousin on the team, and you know, those Kilcreases, all of them were good coaches, and they I think one of them is now principal of the schools down there, and but Roland Jones is the athletic director. You know him, but they lost a tough one.
You know, Luke Sanders works for a cable company here, and I was talking to Luke's daddy at flag tag football this year, and he said that they're kin to the Kilcreases. I mean, they're not super close, but they're second cousins or something like that.
Everybody now is claiming kin to the Kilcreases. Yes, I'm his 5th cousin.
Yeah, that's right.
But another team that surprised everybody, I don't know how they came out, but they were going up against a 27-2 Otaugaville, is Covenant Christian Eagles out of Tuscumbia, Alabama. That's another North Alabama team, another private school. And they look real. Look at that. It looked like he got a 7-footer. This guy. Yeah. I'm seeing the pictures of him on the number 42 for him. I don't know. Let's see what I've got it right here. He's 6'10". They got a 6'10" kid, Mike, and on this Covenant Christian. And I don't know how they came out. Somebody see if you can give me a score on the who won? They won. Covenant Christian won over 27-2 Otaugaville. What a win by Covenant Christian!
Wow.
You see what I mean? And of course, Otaugaville was the defending state champion. So big. This guy, this 6'10" guy, must be good.
From Tuscumbia, that's the home of Helen Keller, isn't it?
Yes, that's right.
I have never been to Tuscumbia.
Yeah,
you have.
Well, I have. Yeah, if you go through the Florence, you got Deschler of the Tuscumbia. You got Florence High
Senator
School.
Hal Heflin was from Tuscumbia.
Yeah, that's right.
Is Helen
and
Keller?
you have Muscle Shoals. That's always
they're
good.
all up there together. Is Helen Keller's house like a museum in tourist attraction?
Yeah.
Hey,
there's actually signs on the highway.
One of the greatest players in Alabama football history is from Muscle Shoals. Do you know who that is? One of the greatest football players in Alabama football history.
Calvin Colbert.
Dan Tippett?
No. The great one, the wide receiver, the great one.
The great one.
No, he's from Leeton.
No, he's not from Leeton. He's from Muscle Shoals.
Ozzie Newsome?
I always thought he was from Leeton.
No.
I thought he played at Cleveland County.
No, he didn't. He played at. He played at.
He's from the same school or county as Leon Douglas, and there was somebody else. I read something about that. There were Ozzie Newsome, Leon Douglas, and some other great athlete might have played at Auburn. That were all playing at the same time.
But this one was a great receiver.
The Wizard.
He was Kenny Stabler's favorite.
You're talking about Holman.
Dennis Holman. He played. He came from Muscle Shoals. What?
Ozzie Newsome was born in Muscle Shoals, but he played at Colbert County.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. But
You're talking about Dennis Holman.
Dennis Holman made All-American, and he came from Muscle Shoals, Alabama. And, all you Alabama fans out there know this. This Alabama fan didn't know it. That Alabama fan didn't know it.
I know who Dennis Holman was.
The great Dennis Holman.
In Muscle Shoals, they have the Swampers. They're known to pick a song or two.
Yeah. But this team from Covenant Christian out of Tuscumbia, coached by Brett Waldrop, they upset mighty Ottawaville.
You know, that music studio is a bigger deal than even we think, and we're proud to have it. Leonard Skinner made it famous, but have you ever looked at some of the recording artists that have cut albums in Alabama? I mean, the Rolling Stones, Simon and Garfunkel.
Oh, yeah, that's right there, yeah. From
Franklin.
Mike, you remember we stayed at that hotel.
There's a great documentary. So if anybody out there has never watched it, it's really, really well done. Naturally, it got huge reviews.
Yeah. Well,
have y'all seen that?
No, I'd like to say that.
Yeah, it's great.
The so 1A and 2A semifinals is over with, and tough luck to Highland Home. But
yeah, it sounds like our local teams really lost heartbreaking games.
Yeah, the 3A girls and boys, you got Houston Academy, and the girls, 22-9, will be playing North Plainview.
We still got Enterprise alive, don't we?
That's right, we sure do. We sure do. But today we've got Houston Academy, and then of course south side of Selma also will be playing in the boys. Wait a minute here.
Well, I just hope the referees let them play. It's kind of like the Super Bowl. When they get to the Super Bowl, you see flags determining the outcomes of all kind of games, but when they get to the Super Bowl, they tend to let them play.
All right, here we go. The South basketball compared to the North basketball and high school basketball in the state of Alabama. Houston Academy, 22-9, is playing Plainview, 29-6. Don't you? That's one of those guys that Plainview been here on Sand Mountain, been here every year for years. And then the other team in the boys is south side of Selma, great program in Selma, against Winfield, 30-5, the home of what great player, Mike?
Bart Height.
Bart Height, ladies and gentlemen. He went to Mississippi State. He played his high school ball at college ball at Mississippi State.
I found out my wife and Bart were good friends.
Well, let me tell you this. He scored 55 points in the state championship game when he was a senior in high school.
Gosh.
Did you know that? Did y'all know that?
No.
Did you know it, Mike?
Nobody offered him in state, and he goes to Mississippi State and is on the Mississippi State team that goes to the Final Four.
That's right, and he was a great shooter, Bart Height. And but in Class 4A boys, you've got St. James of Montgomery now. Hear this. Against Jacksonville of North Alabama. They play at 4:30 today.
Boys and girls are playing.
They sure did, and the girls play.
Crossing and St. James both had their boys and girls.
The St. James girls.
Charles Henderson should have had their boys and girls.
You're exactly right. They sure should have. And that big game with Carroll High School is coming up soon.
There's a good story in the Dothan Eagle this morning about Ozark enjoying the moment going to their first ever Final Four. It's got a good picture of Bryson Dawkins driving the ball.
Yeah.
Let's look at that.
Oh yeah.
That's Bryson, but Bryson was on our show the other day.
Yeah.
He and his coach and one other player. I want to tell you, we saw Bryson against Charles Henderson. He's the reason Ozark won that game. That guy can play basketball.
No question about it. No question about it.
Major League Baseball is still in a lockout. Do you guys care, or do you want baseball to start on a regular time, or does it not matter to you?
To tell you the truth, it doesn't matter to me. I'm sorry to say.
And I hate to say it, it doesn't really matter to me. Yeah.
I'm proud the Bravos won it. What a great year for Georgia athletics. That was a sign. When the Braves won the World Series, that should have told us the Georgia Bulldogs are going to win the national championship, which they did.
As I told you, these will look out for Pisgah.
And then the quarterback of the Super Bowl champions is a Georgia grad.
And
Matt Stafford.
Yep. It seems like a Georgia golfer is winning the PGA tournament every week.
St. Luke's. I was looking at St. Luke's in high school basketball. This was a team that played in the Alabama Independent schools for years before transferring over to
and they're in the Final Four.
Alabama High School Athletic Association, and they're in the Final Four. And here's a great lineup, a great game with Lynette today. Lynette's 19-3, going up against Section of North Alabama. Section is they've got a kid on their team. He's number 22. He is he's just 6'5". He's just 6'5", but he's a pretty big guy in the middle for Section. That's going to be a good game. Lynette's got all kinds of athletes, so I look for Lynette to win that game in 2A boys today. And like y'all mentioned already, the Highland Home Flying Squadron, what a year they had, and congratulations. But they lost to Mars Hill Bible 14, who was 14-16. Mike covered that just a while ago. But
that's a great, impressive little program. You got
exactly. Steve left it on my desk this morning, and really
it's
fun.
Got great all color pictures. Of
That's
all the
right.
teams.
And then we got a game, Plainview Bears going up against the Prattville Christian team, and that's going to be a good game today, or it's going to be played tomorrow. Excuse me. And now south side of Selma, and I told you about south side of Selma, Mike. What did I say?
Great basketball.
Yeah, what else did I say? At one time, south side of Selma had 3 out of the top 5 players on Troy's basketball team. They started 3 kids from south side of Selma. This has been several years ago, but this will let you know how good their program is.
What is that? Is there another high school in Selma?
Yeah, well, it's Selma High School, who's been good for years and years.
In South Side.
And then you got South Side, and then now you got they had a real good football team. Orville is.
And in the AISA, they just have Morgan Academy.
Yeah, that's right.
They used to have another private school.
They did. They sure did. They used to have 3 at one time. They had let's see, of course they had Morgan, and then they had
I can't remember, but it was a big school.
They had 2 other schools there at one time. Looking at the Houston Academy team, who goes at it today or tomorrow, coached by Scott Whitaker, and they had a real good year, and they go up against Plainview, a team from up north Alabama. So here's south side of Selma, as we mentioned. They play tomorrow against Winfield. Winfield, and Winfield's got a kid that they say is a real good player. He's a 6'10" kid. He's a senior. But they've got a 6'10" kid that's supposed to be real good, so it's going to be a battle between a real outstanding team.
You see a lot of these tall players that really can't move and play. And then Auburn got them one that's tall that can move and play. Yeah. And boy, that makes all the difference to your team.
I will have to go ahead and make my prediction here. Kelvin Lett's team, south side of Selma, they'll win that game and go on and play for a championship. That's my opinion. The St. James.
The women's basketball net rankings in Troy, even though I felt like their strength of schedule was a lot better, they're outside the top 100 in net rankings. I don't know if that'll make a difference as far as postseason play, but looks like Troy's going to have to win the tournament.
Yeah,
get to the NCAA.
And that's been the case.
I disagree with that. Don't you? I mean, there's no way Troy should be outside the top 100. I mean, look at what they did last year.
Yeah.
They got in the tournament and they lose by a bucket to the number 2 seed, Texas A&M, that shows you that they can play.
Yeah. Of course,
you hope that maybe if they can get to the championship game at least, that they would have a chance.
Yeah.
That'd be close to 24 wins, I believe.
yeah.
But I bet you're right. I bet if they do not win the tournament, the conference tournament, they probably will not make the NCAA field, which I think they should, even if they, certainly if they make it to the final game of the tournament.
Of course, we want to congratulate St. James out of Montgomery. Like you said, their girls are going to be there, and the boys are there. So pretty good effort by them.
You want to take a Milo tea, coffee?
No, all right, we'll do that. We'll come back and talk more about this state basketball championship. We're going to try to stay away from the war after this.
Got $1? Get a new car. Got $1? Get a new truck. Just $1 gets you into a new truck or car during Dollar Days. New Ram, new Jeep, new Dodge, and Chryslers. All you need is $1 down. PremierTroy.com. Nobody beats a Premier deal. Nobody.
Shipping Wars is back and bigger than ever.
More work, more money.
These shippers have a long road ahead. Who will come out on top?
If we can get it there on time, we'll make some good money.
Shipping Wars. New episodes Tuesdays at 10. Only on A&E.
In the market for a new or pre-owned vehicle? We've got what you're looking for.
So come see us at Bill Jackson Chevrolet Buick GMC in Troy, and you too can experience the Jackson satisfaction.
Bill Jackson Chevrolet Buick GMC.
At Cost Plus 10%, we offer your favorite brands at the best price. At Piggly Wiggly, we keep it simple. We price our products at cost, then add 10% at checkout. We carry all your favorite name brand foods, and we accept manufacturer coupons. Find us on Facebook and see our weekly specials.
Troy Cable Security Wi-Fi doorbell camera allows you to answer the door from your smartphone when you are at home, at work, or on the go. When a visitor presses the button, Troy Cable Security sends a live video feed to your smartphone, so you can see, hear, and speak to the person at your door. With the doorbell camera, you can have your porch light turn on automatically when it detects motion at night to create the appearance that someone is at home. You can view video clips so you can always know who stopped by when you are out. Troy Cable Security. You love them, protect them.
Right here, right now. Got $1? Yeah. Get a used car, truck, van, SUV, you name it. That's right. Just $1 gets you a pre-owned vehicle during Dollar Days. All you need is $1 down. PremierTroy.com. Nobody beats a Premier deal. Nobody.
This time in how long? 40 years. Golly. Oh, gosh. There's a, back to our show brought to you by Premier Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, and Ram trucks on the bypass right here in Troy. And if I can get a dollar bill out of my pocket, I'll find one somewhere. I can take this $1 bill and go out to Premier and buy me a car or a truck. $1 down on some cars and trucks located at Premier Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, and Ram trucks right here in Troy. Jason's dealing, believe you me, no question that Premier is dealing, no question.
What time y'all getting on the road heading to Tuscaloosa tomorrow?
I don't know. I haven't.
Pretty early because we got a lot to do, don't we?
Yeah. We're gonna go to the Bryant Museum, Mike, while we're up there.
We gotta get.
Will there be any pictures of Bill Rice in there?
Yep.
Yeah. You know, I was looking at the.
You know what I want to see is, I've been reading the biography. Excuse me, Mike, for interrupting. Of Coach Bryant by Al Browning. And in the book, Coach Bryant talks about how he wanted that museum built to honor not him, but all his former players, but he wanted all his former players from all the schools he coached at.
Yeah.
So if we go to the Bryant Museum, I'm interested to look and see how much is in there about his Maryland team, Kentucky teams, and Texas A&M teams, too.
Yeah. One of the, we were looking at some of these high schools, St. James had both the boys and the girls in the Final Four in Birmingham. And their head coach is Nigel Carr. You remember that guy's name? Played at AUM, star basketball player.
Yeah, vaguely.
Is now the coach at St. James. And there's a player on St. James's team that sort of rings a bell to me. His name is Bar Armstead. That name ring a bell? 6'4" senior center is one of the top players on their team, and it's going to be a war when they play Jacksonville.
Well, I'm pulling for St. James.
And Jacksonville, Alabama.
St. James is the Trojans.
The Escambia County Blue Devils made it to the tournament, and they're in 4A. They'll be playing later on this week. And Escambia County is coached by Leighton Knight, and they're loaded. They've got a great team. They're 26-4. Going up against a Haleyville team. Listen to this. Haleyville is 24-7, and unless they can slow it down, I think they're in trouble today or tomorrow when they play.
They probably have as many players as some of the other teams.
But of course, they have 3 guys that are 6'5" and over, so they can maybe.
Hey, Michael, did you ever look up? Did we ever find out how many points the young man from Pike County is scoring at Shelton State?
Yeah, I think it's like 15.1.
Ooh,
a good year.
On a very good team, right?
Yeah.
They're like 29-4.
So that should be enough to make him a big-time Division I prospect.
Yeah. Boy, now the Trojans of Charles Henderson High School going up against Gunnersville Wildcats. The Trojans are 17-11, going up against the Gunnersville Wildcats 28-5. I'll say this. Charles Henderson, we watched them the other night in the semifinals, or actually quarterfinals. They are coached by Coach Denise Jones, Mike Elder, Denise Jones Elder, and she has been an outstanding coach at Charles Henderson for several years now. You remember 2 or 3 years ago, they had the best two-year team in the state.
They won 2 state championships, haven't they?
Sure did. Yeah, they sure have.
And they were in the finals the other year and lost to Heartbreaker, so they've won 2 and could have won 3.
Well, and then back then they had a bunch of big girls, Mike. But their tallest girl is Yana McClendon, who is 5'9". 5'9". That's the biggest girl on the team, and. But the player that we watched that is so good is Micaiah Hobdy. She's a 5'5" junior and really an outstanding player.
She's the best ball handler I've ever seen for a girl.
Coach Jones gets away to go see her daughter up in Nashville, who's the star player at Belmont.
That's right.
Judy Jones. So I bet she's on the road on 65 all the time trying to go see her play.
I know exactly. And if she'd come to Troy, she would have been a great player, and she could have helped make Troy an even better team they are right now. Yeah. Wouldn't that have been great?
Belmont's a good basketball school.
Sure it is.
Go to.
But
might want to get out of Troy.
But you know what? As far as enabling her mother to watch her play, that it had been great. Should have come to Troy. It's a good-looking Troy team.
Interesting news here. Evan Neal, who was the offensive tackle at Alabama, a lot of people think will be the first pick in the NFL draft, 6'7", 350, will not participate at the NFL Combine. He's going to wait for Alabama's Pro Day. Also, Matt Corral, the Ole Miss quarterback, will not throw at the NFL Combine as well. He's recovering from his high ankle sprain against Baylor. Darryl Stingley Jr., the top player out of LSU, will wait until April 6th to work out as well. But interesting that potentially the top pick in Evan Neal will not participate at the actual NFL Combine.
Yeah. Yeah, I was looking at.
Who's Alabama's last first pick ever in the draft?
I think I think it's Harry Gilmer, isn't it?
It might be.
1948, when the NFL wasn't even a thing. Alabama, in my lifetime, Alabama has never had a overall number 1 pick. Now Auburn has had a couple. You want to name them?
What?
First overall.
Bo Jackson, Cam Newton.
And Andre Bruce.
Yeah.
That's right, Andre Bruce.
Was a number 1 draft. That's right.
So that's 3 that I can think. I think they had one. Auburn might have had one before that too. Auburn might have had 4 first over. Of course, Bo Jackson said, "No, I'm not playing." It was the Tampa Bay Buccaneers that drafted him first overall. They wasted that pick, didn't they?
Coach, let me finish it. Let me finish up this deal. Carroll High of Ozark has got a big game on Thursday, I want to say.
Wednesday.
Wednesday?
At 4:30.
Wednesday at 4:30. My bad. It's the 5A boys, and going up against a team from Ramsey High School in Birmingham, a very good program, and they've been here several years over the years. 24-9, going up against Carroll High of Ozark, 25-7. And of course, they're the ones that knocked Charles Henderson out of the playoffs and out of the tournament. And Bryson Dawkins is their top player. He's 6'3". He's a senior and outstanding player. And of course, they've got several good players. And all of them are great shooters. And look out for the Eagles. They might pull the big upset, but it's going to be tough against Ramsey.
Yeah, you would think.
Y'all looking at Ramsey, they got 6'5", 6'5", 6'5" across the way, so they're a lot bigger team than Carroll. But good luck to the Carroll Eagles, and this is their first trip to Birmingham to the Final Four. And
so Ramsey High School, we were asking about this other day, is a 4-year magnet school.
So these kids are real smart. Is that right?
Yeah.
If they go to a magnet school, they are real smart kids, and of course, Carroll the Eagles are coached by Mike Henry, and I really thought Mike Henry Rice did a great job of coaching this Ozark team. He was on our show this week.
Seems to be a class man too. That's a good role model for these kids.
Finally, UMS Wright, Mike, of Mobile, they always seem to be around. They're playing Lee of Huntsville, and both of them have a strong program. And I don't know, it's going to be hard to pick this one. Wright's the top player is a senior, Will Howard, and
I'll take Lee of Huntsville.
Yeah, you'll take Lee of Huntsville, and you're right. This game was played in the in Northwest Junior College. All right, and
I didn't mention this a while back, but I read an article. Kentucky lost their offensive line coach, and he went to Alabama. So Kentucky hired Don Flairman's former player at Troy. You'll remember him. He was a small center, but it was a 2-year starter, really great player named Zach Yenzer.
Oh yeah, the last time I heard about Zach Newman, the last time I heard of him, he was playing at North. Let's see.
No, he was coaching it. He coached at Cal under Tony Franklin.
That's what I was saying. Yeah.
But he'd been the assistant offensive line coach for the San Francisco 49ers. So
I didn't know that.
That's another Troy guy you need to keep in mind. Is now the offensive line coach, Troy graduate Zach Yenzer at Kentucky.
Yeah. Now also Troy lost their outstanding secondary coach and Coach Poe.
Yeah.
And have you heard anything about it? Who they gonna name?
I don't know, but Coach Summerall's got to find somebody quick. Spring training is about to start.
Yeah, and it's going to interest me to see who they take because they got several good candidates out there.
Be interested to see if he tries to bring somebody from Kentucky.
Yeah, you're exactly right.
Also, the defense coordinator for Troy has been an Army the last couple of years as well. So you got to keep that in mind. It might be another Army guy coming over.
Yeah, exactly.
They've already hired another guy from Army.
Well, two other teams we're watching closely. One of them is Park Crossing, and of course they're playing with a very good veteran team. They're led by Emmanuel Temple, a 6'7" senior, and a lot of colleges are looking at him. And Coleman, as always, has a great team, and they're going to be hard to beat. They're coached by Stu Steedham, and they're led by a 6'6" forward in Brody Bannister. So we'll be watching that closely. And then Auburn High School going up against Vestavia, Mike. Vestavia's got a good team. They always do. Coached by John David Smeltzer. And
look right there.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah,
who is that? Jill Gaylord. Jill Gaylord's on that team. Did you know
Marshman
that?
Bowe's
granddaughter.
I used to work with Vestavia's coach.
Let me look at that picture.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
I couldn't remember if she went to Mountain Brook or Vestavia. This is my son, my good friend Wes Gaylord's daughter. Is on. There she is. She must be a great player because in the team picture she is right in the middle on the front row and she is holding the trophy.
Oh, okay, she must be.
She's 5'3", ninth grader. Wes has told me how much she loves basketball.
Now, and she can't be a star because she's.
I guarantee she's a star.
I tell you what, a ninth grader is not a star on that team.
I bet she is.
All right,
but I don't know. Here's why I say that is she has been a star ever since she's been playing rec ball.
Yeah.
And I have looked. She plays travel ball.
Yeah.
And I have seen highlights of her games. And she is like a lightning bolt on the court.
So she she starts on the varsity as a ninth grader.
I don't know that
Isn't that
for a fact,
amazing?
but I'm assuming that because they are letting her hold the trophy and she's right in the middle.
Isn't that wonderful? And of course,
so her coach used to be at TA, Tuscaloosa Academy. I won a couple of state championships at TA. I knew him.
Smeltzer?
We were in the sporting goods business together in Tuscaloosa.
Yeah. His name is David Smeltzer.
Yeah, John David Smeltzer.
Yeah, John David Smeltzer.
Really good guy.
We all remember that name, Jill.
Is he a real tall guy? Because this guy looks like a real tall. Is Smeltzer real tall?
Nah, he's my height.
Now, that must be him right there. They had a real tall guy.
He might be 6'1".
Yeah.
I'm going to research Jill Gaylord. See what type of years
I'll tell you what. I've known those boys. The Gaylord boys for a long time. I used to give them a ride back and forth to Montgomery a lot when they were visiting their grandmama.
They're both huge baseball guys because Bo Gaylord was a huge baseball fan and coach. And Wes had 4 children, Wes and Jenny, and all 4 girls.
Yeah.
And I think they're all beautiful. And I don't think any of the other ones played sports. They might have been cheerleaders.
Yeah.
But the baby girl, Jill, is a athlete. And I'm here to tell you that unless I'm off on my prediction, by the time she's a senior, she is going to be a big-time basketball prospect. Yeah. I mean, she's like a Magic Johnson, Enos Watley out there at point guard.
Yeah. Well, we're looking forward to it, and of course, like Wes and the Gaylord boys, their dad was one of the most instrumental people in
her granddaddy, Bo,
in this great recreation program we have for the city of Troy. No question about it. He had his hand into everything, and it's all been good.
And before that, he had the Pike Movie Theater, which was where everybody went to the movies.
His daddy owned the Starlight Drive-In Theater and the Pike Theater, and then I don't know if he owned the Enzer Theater. I don't believe he did, but he owned those other 2.
The Enzer. When did the Enzer close? Can you remember?
No, but I'll tell you what happened. Well, the bank bought it, and it became Troy Bank Trust Company. It was the main bank at Troy Bank Trust Company for a while, and
it must have been when the Gaylords opened up Pike Theater.
Yeah.
Then the Pike Theater. Remember, it became the Pike Triple. That was a big deal when they made it 3 screens. But before that, it was a huge auditorium with a stage, and from time to time, you would have stage shows.
Oh yeah,
and I can remember they had one every Halloween where it was kind of gothic, gruesome scene, and man, it was packed with.
Have you ever been to a shock theater? They used to have a shock theater, and that was and everybody just loved it. They always waited till later on in the night to put it on, but.
Yeah.
Back then, hey, we want to go to the Shock Theater, and that was a real scary type movies and everything, so forth.
I talked to Wes one time and about all the movie posters that his dad must have had at one time, and he said he wishes, if he could have just saved some of those big movie posters. They'd be worth a lot of money.
Will Matthews, ladies and gentlemen, is one of the many people that have been on with the virus, and he's hopefully doing very well. He claims that he did feel quite as well today as he did yesterday, but he doesn't see any problems. He should be back with us.
Well, he's got it, so that shows
Monday.
you the virus is still around. But the case numbers nationwide and in Alabama have really come down dramatically in the last couple of weeks.
I told you I went to church when I was at the beach, and it's a beautiful church, and it seats probably 500 people. Probably it's a big church, and I didn't see a single mask on anybody. And so I was glad I just took mine off. I walked in with one on because nobody else did it. But
well, the schools in Troy, I don't know about Pike County school system. I assume they're the same. No longer required. I picked up my kids yesterday, and I noticed probably 25% of the kids were still wearing masks. So it's voluntary. If they want to wear a mask, that's fine. But 75% of them had the mask off. These kids that have had them on for really years.
Right. So we go for the big baseball game tomorrow.
We've never had the mask issue down here in Florida. We're a little different.
Yeah.
Your kids never had to wear them at their school and daycare?
Not one time.
All right, let's talk about some things here. Tomorrow, you and I are going to be in Tuscaloosa for the baseball game between Troy and the University of Alabama. That game starts at 3 o'clock, and we're going to be there. We're going to have our barbecue run, Mike. And then on Saturday, Troy University's men's basketball team gets their tournament play going against the winner of the South Alabama.
That's right. Might not be South Alabama.
Yeah, that's right.
We assume it be South Alabama, but we don't know.
Little Rock game, South Alabama, Little Rock.
Little Rock is a team that's won 8 games. Unfortunately, one of them was against Troy.
Do you think they could pull the upset?
I mean, they would have to shoot lights out. But
why? Because
I mean, South Alabama's by far the more athletic team, one of the most athletic teams. You know, South Alabama's got 8 Division I transfers.
Oh boy, that they have built them a team through the.
They've got two of their starters are transfers from Auburn. We know how good Auburn is at basketball. One's a transfer from LSU. One was a starting guard at Texas A&M, and then one guy was from TCU.
You know, I asked Coach Cross what he thought about that, and he didn't have any real problem with it. He said it really has not affected his team. The one kid that...
I mean, they're best players from UTEP.
Well, and then what now?
Well, his best players from UTEP.
Oh yeah, and at the same time we lost one to Jacksonville State, but
lost one to Jacksonville
State. But you know, but at the same time it was a mutual agreement. So it didn't bother them that they lost him.
Well, I'm looking at your paper here, Mike, and it says that Alabama and Auburn's girls teams will play each other in the first round of the SEC tournament.
Yeah. And of course, the Troy women play it.
Alabama's women's coach has got to make the NCAA tournament, I would think, this year. If she doesn't, I don't know how she'll keep her job. So remember that job could come open.
Well,
looking at Alabama's record in women, they're 15-12 overall and 6-10 in the SEC. They're the 11th seed in the tournament. Auburn is, God, you remember when Auburn was a powerhouse in women's basketball?
I remember. Yeah, you're right.
The Tigers are 10-17 on the year and 2-14 in the league.
Yeah, and of course
Troy.
Troy.
That's another job that could have gone to Coach Rigby as well. So I mean, it's one of those type things that I will be shocked if she takes Troy to the NCAA tournament again.
Yeah.
She will not get a big time job.
Of course, they've won 9 straight, and I don't care. In any league, you win 9 straight, you've done a pretty good job. And they play on Friday. The girls play on Friday
in Pensacola.
So that's going to be a. I'm planning on being at least one of those games, maybe 2 of them.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what Skylar Meade does tomorrow for Troy baseball. They're coming off losing 2 out of 3. They've actually lost 3 out of the last 4. It'll be interesting to see what he decides to do pitching-wise. Is he going to just do bullpen by committee and give everybody an inning against Alabama, or is he going to try to actually start one of his better pitchers and try to get a big win? I mean, those are the games we want to win the most, to be honest with you.
Well, the conference schedule hasn't started, so I don't know why you wouldn't go with your best.
Yeah. And then, of course, he's a pitching coach. Let's see what he can do.
Is he really?
Yeah, that's what he is.
That's his background.
Yeah. And
Alabama has gotten a lot better in baseball. They actually made the NCAA regionals last year, so they're definitely going to be tough to beat in Tuscaloosa.
Well, we went last year. I can remember. I think Alabama won 9-1.
Yeah.
7-1.
Mike, I was reading here, and of course, I'm jumping around a little bit, but Justin Ross, the wide receiver from Clemson, is one of the top receivers in the draft. A lot of people think. What do you think? He's a kid. He's a kid from Phoenix City.
He's had a lot of injuries.
I know, but he's from Phoenix City. Is that right?
Yes, he almost single-handedly beat Alabama when he was a freshman.
He still caught passes for 514 yards and 3 touchdowns, so he had a pretty good year.
He almost had a career-ending neck injury, didn't he, or something like that? There was a question whether he'd play football again. So
Alabama baseball has played an unbelievable schedule. They were 5-0 after sweeping Xavier, Jacksonville State, and Alabama State, but then they played at Texas over the weekend. In Texas, the #1 baseball team in the country, they got beat 1-0, 2-0, and 6-1. They'll play UT Martin today and then Troy tomorrow.
Yeah. So they lost all 3 of those games?
All 3 of the games to Texas, but I mean, you're playing the #1 team in the country, so that's, they obviously Alabama pitched really well. They lost 1-0 and 2-0.
Sounds like Alabama's first 2 pitchers might be pretty good then if they held Texas to 1 run and 2 run.
Yeah.
What do we say all the time, Mike? What do you need to be a great baseball team in high school or basketball?
Yeah.
2 great pitchers.
As we mentioned yesterday, a dear friend of mine, Miss Eleanor Bassett, died this week, and I think right now her funeral is scheduled for Thursday. Wonderful, wonderful lady, one of the premier people that built Calvary Baptist Church into an outstanding church for years and years, and she was just a wonderful, wonderful person, and we know exactly where she is today with our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. And Miss Bassett and her family, Miss Bassett, our prayers and thoughts are with you.
Yep.
And want to mention a few other things, Mike, going on. How's the weather going to be down there this weekend?
I mean, it looks like it's going to be nice. From what I was looking at earlier, it's going to be warm.
Be warm, and spring break officially starts this weekend, you said, didn't it?
No,
for some states?
Now I don't think. I mean, they all have different dates, and Troy always the university has a different week that they take it than normally than the schools. So
yeah, it's gonna be 75, low of 56 at the beach on Friday, 75 on Saturday, 76 on Sunday. So it's gonna be beautiful weather.
Exactly right, and again.
I was talking about Mardi Gras being so big down here, and next door, I was getting out of the car last night. A guy pulled up. He's like, "Is this your driveway?" And I said, "No." I said, "This is a rental house next to us." And he was down here with like 2 or 3 of his kids. And I said, "Where y'all from?" And he said, "Louisiana." He said, "We have Mardi Gras, and they give us the week off."
Yeah.
At our school, so they're down here at the beach because their kids are out.
Yeah, that's something. Now,
Joe Kane. I mean, it's Fat Tuesday, Jack.
Yeah, and so that's the big day. Is it the big day in Mobile? I know it is in New Orleans.
Yeah, the schools in Mobile are closed and in New Orleans.
Yeah,
You know, I lived in Mobile for the second part of my sixth grade year, and that's what I remember is I can't remember how many days they let us off. It was at least 3, I think, for Mardi Gras in Mobile.
People do not know that Mardi Gras is a way of life for people down there. I mean, it's a party. It is a party in town, and it makes Mobile a special place. I tell you, it's a.
Well, it's the oldest Mardi Gras in America, isn't it?
And you know, all of them have these different, balls. And if you don't own a tuxedo in Mobile, you haven't never been to a ball before. You know what I mean?
Yep.
You talk about owning. We talked the other day about owning a tuxedo. I guarantee you, anybody
If you
that
live
has
in Mobile,
any
if you're in Mobile society,
you're right.
Or if you're in Montgomery society, you need a tuxedo
In
because
fact,
there are so many balls.
You have a tuxedo or tails or both. You got to have tails to go to a lot of these places. You know the difference, don't you?
Yes, I know the difference. And also, what about a dinner jacket, a white dinner jacket? You know when you wear a white dinner jacket, when you wear a tuxedo?
That's right, yeah.
A dinner jacket you're supposed to wear earlier in the day, right?
And you get in with a certain group, and you have a lot of opportunities to enjoy the Mardi Gras season.
You know, at my senior prom, I wore a white dinner jacket.
Yeah.
Instead of.
And you were the only one there that had one.
There was somebody else that wore one like me. I was one of 2. But you know what influenced me? That's what Rick in the movie Casablanca wore.
Okay.
Now, I love the movie Casablanca, so I was trying to look like Rick.
Okay. Do you remember the girl you had a date with?
Yes, of course, Carol Lott.
Carol who?
Carol Lott.
Okay. All right.
Mike Lott's first
I remember, like in Troy, if you could get tuxes in Troy back then, I felt like we had to go to Jim Massey or something to get tuxes.
Yeah.
Back in the day in Montgomery.
I had and in my junior year, my date was Janet Moats, Boy Moats' daughter.
Well, I'll tell you this, the
my sophomore year, I didn't go.
One of the biggest parties in Pike County history for the last 10 years, I reckon, would be the College senior, and they had a wonderful Mardi Gras.
Who did you go to the junior and senior prom with?
Oh, my wife. Yeah.
Y'all were dating?
Yeah. one of those years. Yeah.
You could go as a sophomore if a junior or senior asked you to go, which of course no junior or senior girl asked me to go.
Yeah. But again, I hated that they didn't have the ball that they've had in the past. But I think because of the COVID and all that, they'll probably do it again next year. But it was a big fundraiser. I tell you, they have some great people putting that on, and Troy really didn't take a back seat to anybody. It's very well done. And a beautiful facility out at the Cattleman's, and they did a wonderful job of decorating it. And but they decided not to do it this year, but hopefully it'll come back.
What else is going on in town?
Well,
you got softball, baseball, basketball, women's basketball.
Do we got?
And you got the Charles Simpson girls playing in the Final Four.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot going on.
Mike and I are going.
Spring training will be starting up in a couple of weeks.
Tuscaloosa.
Yeah, we're going to Tuscaloosa in the morning. Going to leave right after this show, and we're going to get up there plenty of time to knock around. And Rice is going to show me where he met his first girlfriend up there, or we're going to find out some things. And we're going to have a lot of fun.
You can get up with Neil Green DeShera. He's up there. You want me to tell Neil you're coming?
Yeah, you can. I'm gonna try. Hopefully, I'm gonna get up with Johnny
We can
Williams.
ride by Coach Bryant's old house, and I can say where Uncle Bobby and Aunt Carolyn live.
Yeah,
They live in the
okay.
same neighborhood as Coach Bryant.
You know Neil Green DeShera lived 2 houses down from that house.
Yeah. Well,
Really?
do you know what though? Rusty Gibson, my good friend, the big attorney up there, and his house is located right up the street from where Coach Bryant lived.
Now, if you get up with
He lives right on the golf course.
He does. His backyard was.
You You can go see his brother Steve Williams bowling alley.
Yeah, that's something we're gonna really do.
I want to see that.
Yeah, that's one of the things we're gonna really do.
Invest in it and open one in Troy.
Aren't we in one coming?
Well, I
Troy?
think there is something already in the plans, and I don't know when they're going to start construction, but they have a bowling alley, theater, and I'm sure
Game
some
room
other
type
things
thing,
go
too.
with it, you know.
You know, anything that will draw children.
And college kids, you know.
Yeah, seems to do well. These bouncy trampoline places in Montgomery and Dothan. We take our kids love to go to them, and people have birthday parties there. But every time I've been, they're packed.
Yeah. Well, we're going to. In fact, we'll eat with Steve Williams. We'll get him to feed us when we go up there to see him. And this is something that hit.
Now, are we going to go to Dreamland after the game, or is that going to be too late? That might be too
well, no, it won't be too late. We can stop and eat there. Are we?
What's the other restaurant, the barbecue restaurant in Tuscaloosa that you say we need to go to? It might be in Northport or?
Yeah, Archibald.
Where is it? How do we? Tell us how to get to Archibald. That's where maybe we need to
Mike,
go.
how do you compare Archibald with Dreamland?
I mean, I like Archibald's ribs about as good as Dreamland's ribs.
Yeah.
They're
Okay.
really good.
Well,
real vinegary based sauce.
I like that. I like that.
I don't know. You'd have to type it in your phone to get there. The one I'm thinking about is off downtown into Northport to the right, over the river. But it's not an easy way to get there, really.
Yeah.
all right. Well, I have been to Dreamland 10 times, but I've never been to Archibald's, and I've heard a lot about
We'll go to
Archibald's.
Archibald's.
Let's go to Archibald's.
Yeah, we will.
Somebody will tell us how to get there.
And
I don't know if Archibald's made a new location or not. They had 2 or 3 locations, but I don't know if COVID has made a difference.
No, I want to go to the original location.
well, we're gonna give you a report on it starting tomorrow, and we're excited about going to the game, and hopefully the Trojans can win.
Ooh, that'd be huge.
Yeah.
I don't.
But Mike, I plan on being down there during the basketball tournament, and I plan on going over to see the Trojans play. So it'll be a lot of fun.
I'm only able to go to one game. If I go, it'll be.
Appreciate Sarah this morning. Sure. And of course, want to mention again, our main sponsor of our show is Premier Dodge Chrysler Jeep and Ram trucks on the bypass right here in Troy. You got $1, you got a chance to walk off with a brand new or used car or truck from Premier Dodge Chrysler Jeep in Troy.
I think the State of the Union address, is that tonight?
Well, that's big. It's big.
Yeah, let's see if Biden can rise.
I think it's 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock
I
Central.
might actually watch it. I usually don't watch it. But I
want to say 7 o'clock Central would be the address. And,
if Biden can read it.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, we're not getting involved in another conversation. I promise you that on the war. So we'll just keep it to ourselves.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine with me. That's fine with me.
Hope you have a great day.
Let's talk about Alabama.
Got $1? Get a new car. Got $1? Get a new truck. Just $1 gets you into a new truck or car during Dollar Days. New Rams, new Jeeps, new Dodges, and Chryslers. All you need is $1 down. PremierTroy.com. Nobody beats a Premier deal. Nobody.
I wish